Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News on CW18 starts now.
We're following a series of shootings tonight in Orlando. First, a man and woman were found shot along Fitzgerald Drive. Both are expected to be okay.
Then in downtown Orlando this afternoon, one person was shot on East Central Boulevard. Police say that victim is also expected to be okay.
We want to start with shots fired in an Orlando apartment complex along Millennia Boulevard, just east of I-4. One person's in the hospital following that shooting this afternoon.
WESH 2's Liv Johnson was at the scene all day and is joining us live from the police department now. So, Liv, what do we know?
Well, Michelle, right now we know that one person was shot, taken to the hospital, and the last we heard they are in critical condition. We're not sure about anyone else that might have been involved. We do have footage from Chopper 2 that flew over the scene earlier today. You can see there was crime scene investigators, officers, and detectives that filled the complex, collecting evidence and talking to people who live there. I spoke to a lot of people who live there. They did not want to be on camera, but all of them expressed to me that they're actually not surprised that this shooting happened today. They said this neighborhood deals with a decent amount of violence and crime, unfortunately. Now, police did not say when they were called to the complex, but we got there around 5 o'clock this evening, and they already had the complex blocked off. Many people who live there were trying to drive in after work, only to find crime scene tape blocking the entrance to their home. So police did not release the identity of the person that was shot. We also have not heard any word on suspect or suspects. Live from Orlando, I'm Liv Johnson, WESH 2 News.
Orlando police are also investigating a shooting that happened on East Central Boulevard and North Roslyn Avenue. Chopper 2 is over that scene this afternoon where the shooting victim was found, but police say the shooting actually happened in the Rosemont area. They say that one person was shot and is expected to be okay. They also say the victim knew the shooter, who has not yet been arrested. Police say there is no immediate danger to the public. In Orlando, a man and woman were found shot along Fitzgerald Drive just west of John Young Parkway and south of the 408. Both are said to be in stable condition. This all began as some sort of family dispute. Right now, it is unclear if police are looking for any suspects.
All right, returning to your first warning forecast, Tony, we had another lovely day on our hands, but tonight we're going to see a little bit of fog.
Yeah, I think up in our northern communities might get a little bit of fog. This time of the night, you know, the temperatures start to cool. We got the high pressure overhead, and you get a little bit of fog just to start off Halloween. Let's take a look at that right now. Outside for you, things are pretty quiet. We take a look at the water vapor. You can see the big high pressure overhead, and what that's doing out ahead of this front, the air is pretty humid tonight in comparison to where it's been the last couple days. A little high level moisture there, some clouds, but notice the temperatures here very warm, very sticky up to the north and west. Look at Mobile already down to 59 degrees. Closer to home, you can see for the most part we're in the low to the mid 70s, and the winds for the most part are fairly light tonight. Then we get deeper into the evening, those winds get even lighter, and look at the visibilities. They start to come down to about 2 miles in and around Sanford up towards DeLand. Could have a little bit of patchy fog up that way. That'll burn off fairly quickly once the sun comes up. So some patchy fog in the morning. We heat up by the afternoon. We'll take a look at the evening forecast for the trick-or-treaters, but a dry day and a warm day. More on that straight ahead, guys.
All right, thank you, Tony. Communities in Maine are working to rebuild and recover after a mass shooting claimed the lives of 18 people last week. The governor just announced aid is going to multiple areas in Lewiston to help the community recover after that shooting.
Many of us have been feeling a wide range of emotions, from shock, sadness, from anxiety to fear, from grief to anger. I felt many of these emotions myself over the last several days, and I'm sure we'll continue to feel things in the coming days and weeks and months.
The Department of Health and Human Services will launch an online form for behavior health assistance requests, and a team from the Department of Justice will be in the city on Wednesday to help victims file for federal compensation.
Florida Democrats are taking new action to reduce gun violence following recent mass shootings in Maine and in Tampa. One bill filed would make it a crime to fire a gun in residential areas. Another proposed bill would require gun owners to keep firearms in a securely locked box when not carrying them. The 2024 legislative session will begin on January 9th. Thanks to a trailblazer, plus the efforts of corporations and community organizations, some high school students will get much needed help to further their education. In tonight's project community, Gail Pascal-Brown tells us the applications are now open for the Arthur Pappy Kennedy Scholarship Program. Gail.
That's right, Stuart. Arthur Pappy Kennedy changed the course of history when he became the first African-American elected to Orlando City Council in 1973. Now, those who knew him know how he advocated for the poor and was about giving back to his community. That included scholarships for youth, and tonight, motivated seniors can apply for them. Now, if you want more information on how to apply for the scholarships or donate to the scholarship program, then go to our website at WESH.com. Also, next year's keynote speaker at the Arthur Pappy Kennedy Prayer Breakfast is former Congresswoman Val Demings. The event is January 15th at the First Baptist Church of Orlando. Back to you, Stuart.
All right, Gail, thank you. Tomorrow is the last day high school students have to apply for the Disney Dreamers Academy. This is a 4-day workshop for black students between the ages of 13 and 19. Disney will pick 100 teens from across the country to learn about diverse career paths in business, entertainment, sciences, and more. We have a link to the application on WESH.com. If you're looking for some Halloween fun in Marion County, Ocala Parks and Recreation are getting ready to host their annual Boo Bash. This Halloween event kicks off at 5:30 tomorrow afternoon and runs until 7:30. It's being held at the Mary Sue Rich Community Center at Reed Place. The event is free and open to all ages.
Coming up next at 10, an accused drunk driver slams into a highway patrol cruiser.
As he's making a turn, the other driver coming from the opposite direction fails to stop for a red signal and basically broadsides on the passenger side of the vehicle.
The damage the crash left behind and the condition of the trooper now left to recover. Plus, more than 37 million people in the U.S. are living with diabetes. Ways to lower your risk and prevent health problems that stem from the disease.
In Polk County, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper is recovering tonight after being hit by an alleged drunk driver.
WESH 2's Megan Mulatto reports that the 20-year-old driver is now facing several charges, including DUI. Everyone involved in that crash only has minor injuries. FHP wants to remind drivers that getting behind the wheel intoxicated is never a good idea.
Staying in Polk County tonight, an Auburndale man is facing multiple charges accused of pointing a gun at an off-duty trooper. Highway Patrol says 32-year-old Matthew Ryder was upset about slow-moving traffic on Polk Parkway yesterday when he pulled up next to the trooper, started yelling and using hand gestures before pulling out a gun. Officials say the off-duty trooper was in his personal car with his family during the incident. Ryder was later arrested at his home. Investigators say they found 5 guns during the arrest. His charges include unlawful display of a weapon and aggravated assault.
A different set of jaws scared off beachgoers in Broward County today. Look at this video. It's obviously not a shark. It's an alligator that sent swimmers looking for land in Hillsborough Beach. Members of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission were called in to wrangle this animal. FWC workers and police tied it up and then got him off the beach. Then they released it back into the wild in a river.
Not far from the beach.
No, not far away.
At least he got released. Most of the time, they just kind of take him out. All right, a stranded sailor is being given the boot on a Jacksonville beach. Officials have given Luke Ryberg 3 weeks to move his 40-foot sailboat that's stuck in the surf.
Okay, so he and his boat have been stranded in the waves for about a week after an engine failure, and now he's become something of a beach attraction. So crowds gathered on the beach yesterday morning as a tugboat arrived to help remove the vessel, but moving the 35,000-pound boat is no easy task.
Well, there is definitely the prop damage to the drive shaft, as well as the rudder, and the stays on the mast are taking a beating from side to side so hard.
And Luke refuses to leave the boat behind. He says one time when he went to the hotel, thieves stole nearly $800 in equipment. So he's hoping to use an industrial-grade tugboat to move his boat. All right, it is a big night for Orlando City. The 4th straight season, the Lions reaching the postseason. But for the first time since 2020, they were hosting in the playoffs. Kristen Lago is at Exploria Stadium with more.
We had the launch.
Hey.
We had the soccer game, which we won.
Win number 1. We like it.
Win number 2 and 3. Tony, your 7-day forecast is a winner.
Oh.
Wow, you guys are full of
We teed you up, Tony.
Yeah, we got a cool down coming.
We did. You
do you want us to just do it?
I'm just going to
Okay.
Can we get some rain, too?
No.
Just a little.
We have some of that, too. All right, anyway, let me get into this before we start getting phone calls.
Okay.
Temps out. We hit 87 today. It didn't feel like it. We had a nice breeze out there. Let's get back outside. You can see Exploria clearing out tonight. Gorgeous night for some soccer and a great win. But we've got a front that is on the move here through the mid-Atlantic, the deep south, and that is going to bring us cooler air very early Wednesday morning. Highs on Wednesday struggling just to get into the lower 70s. Few high clouds tonight coming in from the south-southwest. We take a look at the temperatures tonight. 71 in DeLand, 69 Titusville, 75 on into Claremont. It's a mild night tonight for sure. We're going to fall to about 62, 63 up in Ocala. Upper 60s in the metro areas and low 70s on into coastal Brevard County. So the muggy meter coming down as we get you into Wednesday, Thursday, and on into Friday. Just got to put up with one more warm day. I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable, but it's definitely going to be a warm day. But look at these colder temperatures Thursday morning. 47 in Ocala, 49 in Wildwood, 58 in Orlando, and 60 on it to St. Cloud. All right, down to the tropics we head. Invest 96 struggling tonight for sure. Not expected to develop anymore as that front's going to come on in and shoot out to sea up towards Bermuda and then east to there. There's actually another area of low pressure that's going to mill around in the Caribbean for probably almost close to a week. That one may have a better chance of developing, so we'll keep you posted on that. Just keep checking back in. All right, here's a look now at the updated 7-day forecast. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, turning much cooler. A few sprinkles around with that northeasterly flow as we head into Friday. We fall back an hour Saturday night into early Sunday morning as, again, the time change is happening. There will be some coastal showers around both late Saturday night on into Sunday. We'll take a closer look at that coming up in the next half hour.
Get to know Sheldon.
Why are you arguing with the DMV?
How else are they going to learn?
The Big Bang Theory. Weeknights at 7, 7:30, and 11.
Million people living with diabetes in the U.S. It's a chronic disease that impacts how your body turns food into energy.
And officials say it can cause severe damage to a person's body. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has 5 ways to help prevent health problems from diabetes. The CDC's National Diabetes Statistics Report also estimates that around 96 million adults in the U.S. have pre-diabetes. That is when blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. Officials recommend talking to your doctor about getting your blood sugar tested, especially if you have any major risk factors.
New research is finding that heat-related heart deaths could triple in the next few decades. This comes as nearly 1,700 deaths were reported each year between 2008 and 2019. The study, published today in the journal Circulation, says that if the planet keeps warming up, we could start seeing 5,500 excess deaths a year by 2036. Researchers say seniors and black adults are most vulnerable to heat-related health issues. Still ahead in our next half hour, a win for some neighbors in Brevard County. Shipping containers in one man's backyard now ordered to come down. We have his reaction tonight.
Plus, an Orlando shooting sends 3 people to the hospital. The 2 men now in custody and the charges they're facing.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News on CW18 starts now.
Welcome back. Israel is expanding its military operations deeper into northern parts of the Gaza Strip as the country's war with Hamas continues. That decision comes as international calls for a ceasefire to protect civilians increase.
The UN expressed fears over airstrikes hitting closer to hospitals, and that is where officials say thousands of people are taking shelter alongside the wounded. Earlier today, the Israeli military released video of ground operations in the Gaza Strip, including footage of tanks and armored bulldozers in the area. The footage comes 3 days after Israel began its ground offensive. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the operations a second stage of the war. We will continue to bring you the latest from Israel's war with Hamas, from impacts abroad to those right here at home. Stay with WESH 2 on air and online as the conflict continues.
We need a Goldilocks forecast going into tomorrow. Not too hot because kids are going to be in costume. Not too cold because this is still Florida. And we also don't want rain, Tony.
You know, it's going to be warm by day, but I think just in time for the evening around sunset, things start to cool off this time of year. So still, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape, although it may not feel like that early afternoon, but it'll be a lot better by mid-evening. Outside right now, we're looking pretty good. Satellite radar shows we have some clouds, a little bit of moisture trying to come up from the south. Out ahead of that front, it's 74 in Ocala, 73 back towards the villages, upper 60s, Titusville, 75, 74 respectively, Melbourne and Palm Bay. Dew point measure the amount of moisture a little bit higher than we've seen here the last couple of nights, so the AC may be humming a little bit longer tonight, but overnight, just a few clouds coming up from the south and the west. At daybreak, again, more clouds up to the north, a lot of ground clutter up there. I'm not expecting any rain, so the forecast for tonight, 62 north and west, 70, 72 along the immediate coastline. We take a look at that 12-hour forecast for Daytona Beach. Starting off warm, a comfortable afternoon. We'll climb to the lower 80s, but just in time for the trick-or-treating up there. We're going to be in good shape. Take a closer look now at the rest of that work week forecast, including those chillier temperatures, just in time for your Thursday morning. All straight ahead.
Happening now, all lanes are blocked on I-4 westbound near World Drive, where Disney is located. It appears crews are working to clear a crash and redirecting drivers. We're still working to learn more about how many people are involved in this crash and if anyone was hurt.
2 men are facing charges tonight in connection to a shooting that left 3 people injured near a hookah lounge in Orange County. And as WESH 2's Nike Gabrigadis reports, one of the people hurt is the accused shooter. And we did try getting in touch with the owners or the manager of the hookah lounge, but we have not been able to reach them.
A jury has been seated in the trial of Sherry Fitzpatrick. She is accused of shooting and killing her husband in Castleberry more than 2 years ago. Timothy Fitzpatrick was found dead in July 2021. Investigators say Sherry Fitzpatrick first reported finding her husband dead, but later said she felt threatened during an argument and fired shots out of fear. The state says the case is a premeditated murder. Fitzpatrick's attorneys plan to argue that she shot her husband in self-defense. Court is set to continue tomorrow at 9 a.m.
A Flagler County teen accused of knocking out a teacher's aide has pleaded no contest. Brendan Deepa was a special needs student at Matanzas High School. He was 17 years old when video that you're seeing here showed him shoving, punching, and kicking a teacher's aide. A sentencing hearing is now set for January.
In Volusia County, a 19-year-old is facing multiple charges, accused of breaking into cars and stealing them. Port Orange police say Umundre Williams and 3 others are breaking into and stealing cars across the county. Officers tracked one of the vehicles down and tried to stop the group. They say the 4 took off in the car before crashing into a patrol vehicle and running away. Officers say Williams was later found hiding out in a dumpster. His charges include grand theft and aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer. In Osceola County, troopers are looking for one of the cars they say hit and killed a pedestrian this morning. This happened along US 192 and West Side Boulevard around 5:20 a.m. Troopers say the man was not in the crosswalk when he was initially hit and he died at that scene. Troopers believe the vehicle may be a Toyota SUV or truck with front-end damage. Anyone with information is urged to call Crime Line.
Developing tonight in Tampa, the man accused in a shooting that killed 2 people and left 16 others injured is being held on no bond. 22-year-old Tyrell Phillips appeared before a judge today. Police say Phillips opened fire during a fight between 2 groups early Sunday morning. 2 people were killed, 15 others were shot, and 1 person has serious injuries. Coming up next at 10, a deeper dive into your forecast and what you can expect before heading out for Halloween festivities tomorrow. Plus, a new ice cream shop is opening at a historic location in Orlando.
There was something missing in the community, so I thought bringing back an ice cream shop would be a plus for the people around here.
The beloved shop it replaced and how the new owners hope to continue its legacy.
Hello, Sheldon.
Hello, Sheldon. CW18 presents A Tale of Two Sheldons. Welcome to my life. They both live for science.
What could be more fun than giving a physics lecture?
Me, because I just did it. They both have their quirks.
You're sitting in my spot.
He's in my spot. You'd later make him stop being naked in my spot.
And they both love a good
Bazinga.
Two shows, one extraordinary combo.
I agree.
Young Sheldon and The Big Bang Theory. Weeknights starting at 6 on CW18.
I'm so smart.
This Wednesday, don't miss Sullivan's Crossing at 8/7 Central.
A new ice cream shop is opening at a historic location in Orlando. The beloved Goff's Drive-In closed last year after suspected arson. Now there are new owners and a new name.
WESH 2's Marley Martinez spoke with those new owners and shares how they hope to keep the old legacy going. And tomorrow night, Sweeties plans to hand out candy to trick-or-treaters, and they will also have ice cream for sale.
Another Falcon 9 rocket successfully lifted off from our Space Coast just hours ago. Take a look.
3, 2, 1, ignition, engines full power, and liftoff of Starlink. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
That rocket carrying another batch of Starlink satellites launched from the Cape at 7:20 this afternoon. It was originally scheduled for last night, but was scrubbed after a countdown hold. Shortly after tonight's launch, the rocket's first stage booster landed on a drone ship out in the Atlantic.
All right, perfect night for that. And tomorrow, we're going to continue the good weather for those trick-or-treaters.
I think a lot of folks are going to be happy. I mean, it'll be warm by day, but just in time for the trick-or-treaters. You know, this time of the year, the temperatures do drop off, so we'll fall back into the 70s, guys. And let me take you back outside. Let's shift gears and show you what it looks like over at Exploria Stadium, where we had some fantastic news. We'll learn more about that from Kristen Lago here in just a little bit. You can see beautiful night, big dome of high pressure overhead. We've got an upper low near Cancun. We've got Invest 96 struggling tonight with drier air getting absorbed into it. We take a look at the satellite and the radar. You can see just some high clouds, a little bit of moisture to the southwest of Fort Myers. But notice up near Mobile, that is where the front is just now beginning to arrive, and notice the temperatures here falling back into the upper 50s, whereas in Stewart it is 79, a good 20 degrees warmer there. Orlando is at 74. You can see comfortable here tonight. Temperatures though running a little bit above the norm for this time of the year. By daybreak, a normal low should be about 62. We'll be at 67. We'll be closer to 62 up here in Ocala and near 70 in Melbourne, back towards Palm Bay. Day planner now looking like this for you from start to finish. A good-looking day. Be a little warm by early to mid-afternoon. And then for the trick-or-treaters tomorrow night, 83, 81, and 76 degrees by the 8 o'clock hour. Let's take a look now at Futurecast. You can see behind the front, we start cooling down, struggling just to get into the low 70s on Wednesday, Thursday in the mid-70s, and then Friday, temperatures do begin to moderate as high pressure slides back to the east with those east-northeast winds. Perfect weather. So the next cold front, 87 tomorrow, 72 on Wednesday, a good 15-degree drop in temperature. So that front stalls out to the south, a little trough of low pressure, instigates a little bit of moisture there Saturday night on into Sunday. Not a washout, but I think it's going to be a little bit wetter, especially along the coast. Weekend planner looking like this. Temperatures holding steady in the low 80s. Rain chances jumping up to about 40% as we get you on into Sunday afternoon. So there's our future invest. This will build off towards the west. You can see a front comes out in, and there's that piece of energy building back towards the west. And then as we get you to early next week, here comes another front that should keep things at bay, but keep checking back in just to make sure. So 7-day forecast, a warm afternoon, but not too bad for the evening trick-or-treaters. Turning much cooler Wednesday and Thursday. Showers around this weekend, guys.
All right, Tony, thank you. It took a long time for Orlando City to reach the playoffs after they made that jump to MLS. Now that's expected.
Okay, so it's the fourth straight season in the playoffs, but it's been a while since we've seen a win until...
Tonight. Yeah. You haven't been in the postseason at home since 2020. Hadn't won in the playoffs since 2020. That all changed tonight. New format, though, so it's not win or go home. But game one of the Lions playoff series with Nashville, highlights and reaction from downtown next.
This Tuesday, watch The Swarm at 9/8 Central.
Hello, everybody. I'm Darren Stoltzfus. Orlando City back in the playoffs for the fourth straight season, but hosting for the first time since 2020. The MLS, though, moving to a best-of-3 format in the first round. So tonight, just the opening act of this series with Nashville SC. Got to get used to that. A week and a day for Game 2 in the MLS postseason. What do you know?
I like the format up until we won the first game. Now I'm like, it's over. This isn't soccer. Move on.
Not how it works.
Let's take a look at that forecast come daybreak tomorrow morning. Some fog up to the north. Patchy. It'll burn off fairly quickly. A gorgeous afternoon, although a bit warm, but things will cool down nicely just in time for the trick-or-treaters. And if you missed that extended 7-day forecast, we've got much cooler weather on tap for Wednesday and Thursday. In fact, we're going to struggle just to get into the low 70s on Wednesday. 40s north and west up in Marion, Lake, on into Sumter counties, waking up Thursday morning. In town will be in the middle to the upper 50s. Highs on Thursday right around 77. Onshore flow heading into the weekend. A couple more showers there. And just a friendly reminder, over the weekend, we fall back 1 hour with those clocks at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. An extra hour's sleep.
Never really feels that way. Make sure everybody at home, send us your Halloween pictures tomorrow. Maybe we'll put them on this little last bit of the show.
Oh,
instead
look at
of,
that.
you know,
Promising that.
I mean, maybe. We'll just see what happens.
I think we did that last year, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we did.
I'll make another promise. Tomorrow morning, those guys you just saw, they'll be on really early.
Okay, that you can count on. No, they'll be on TV for sure.
And, of course, we're on top of all your big stories tonight.
We'll try to get your kids on tomorrow. Flip over to WESH 2 for local live late breaking news at 11.